Hi guys, and welcome to Lee Judges TV. Lee, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you, Dave. I can hear you.
All good. Welcome to Lee Judges TV, guys. And today we are doing a little stream to talk about Arsenal going 5 points clear at the top of the table. Look at Lee. Lee's all happy about that. I could tell, especially going into the World Cup. It's a big, massive boost, isn't it, Lee? I watched the match yesterday. I've done a watch along on the channel.
Yeah.
And I watched it yesterday. It's a massive boost for Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, listen, I know you're a Real Madrid fan. You do like the Arsenal, but, you're not as, like we are, us Gooners in the chat and everything there, So, hello, Matt. Hope you're well. Yeah, listen, I'm having to pinch myself where we are at this moment in time. Would never have believed it at the beginning of the season. I've got to say that. Never would have believed it at the beginning of the season. If you'd have said to me, Dave, if you'd have said to me at the beginning of the season, we'd be where we are, 5 points clear of Manchester City, I would have bit your hand off for it. Now, in saying that, I've always said after seeing them in pre-season, I did say, and I said earlier on that there was something special about this team, that the signings of Jesus and Zinchenko had done. Zinchenko, by the way, had a poor game yesterday, but we'll get into that. But Saliba coming to the club as well. Back to the club, should I say. And it's just been absolutely amazing. And I can tell you this now, I still think Arsenal can get better. And I'll tell you why we can get better, because Jesus is not scoring goals at the minute. Just imagine if he added that to his game. Watching the game yesterday, Dave, I don't know how you felt about it. It was, I'm going to say it, I thought Wolves were well organised, well drilled. They were looking to...
Especially in the first half.
Particularly in the first half, they was looking to get a point. And speaking to their fans, they was happy with that at half time. Restricted us very, very well. Turned around and we was all saying it's going to take a bit of magic to break down this team. Along comes Jesus with that lovely little pass. Vieira, a little dink over, 1-0 up. And then from then on, I think it was no doubt whatsoever. I will say as well, I think that we're a different animal this season because defensively we are so much better. Now, listen, I don't think Saliba had one of his better games yesterday. I agree with that.
He made a horrible back pass.
He made a horrible back pass. I felt that was a little bit
weird, a bit
cocky.
Weird.
It was a little bit like, we're top.
He didn't give a shit, basically. He was like, okay.
I don't really know. You know what I mean? I thought they was all off their game a little bit in the first half. And what I would like to have thought was that the manager gave them a bit of a rollicking at half time, because they come out second half, a little bit of an extra gear to their game. And I felt that we played really, really well. When you're not playing really, really well, though, Dave, or not at your best, what you need to do is defend well. And I know we made a couple of mistakes, but teams now, when they put balls in the air to us, our central defenders win the ball. They win the ball. So we ain't got like scrambling on second balls and things like that. It's so much important. So when they go long, we win the balls. Ben White, Gabriel and Saliba, 9 times out of 10 win their aerial duels. Now that was down, I reckon, to 5 out of 10 with the likes of Mustafi, Holding, Koscielny, those sort of players. It wasn't there as much, and that is why we've always been poor away from home. And the reason we're stronger at home now is because defensively we're harder to break down or bully. I think that's a word to say. So
good.
I thought it was a great result. Like two difficult games. When you looked at the fixtures at the beginning of the season, you thought, what our last 2 games were Chelsea away and Wolves away, and you thought, whoa, they're tough. Tough games just before this winter break and all that.
The Molineu's always tough.
No goals. Say again.
Molineu's always tough to go to.
Yeah, it's a tough place, isn't it? Like if you've not been there, if people in the chat have been there, they understand it. They put all the fans. Yeah, it's very, very hostile, because what they do is they put the fans like all down one side. So there's probably 10 rows of seats, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. So what it does, it dilutes the atmosphere of the Arsenal away fans. And then what you've got then, or not just Arsenal fans, any fans that are there, and then you've got both behind the goal full of their fans, and they're very very much on it. what I will say again, credit to Arsenal yesterday, they silenced that, and in the end, we got the result. But it's not the easiest place to go. And listen, I don't think they'll be there at the end of the season. I think once they get themselves sorted out, they're a decent team, Dave. So I don't think they'll be in the bottom three.
Yeah,
at the end of the season.
Yeah, I wanted to cover something because I was watching the Sky Sports coverage yesterday. A lot of people are raising it in the chat about, including Mark, one of our members, said, "Mr. Judges, how pissed off you were at Sky Sports." Obviously, they were trying to say at halftime, "Oh, they should have had a penalty." Wolves. Do you know? I think it was the instance. I think.
Yeah, Saliba.
Yeah, it was a weird decision, but the Wolves were erratic at it completely. What did you make of it?
Well, I didn't know it. I didn't even know about it until I got home and see it on Match of the Day, and they said it was offside. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it didn't really matter. So why are they? Why, if it's offside, then why are they bringing it up? So
yeah.
Listen, I have to say at this moment,
the media
in time,
hates Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think that how can I say it? It's good for football that there's another team involved this season, and it's fantastic from our point of view that it's Arsenal. But I don't know if Sky don't want that, or there's something agenda against London clubs. I'm not sure what it is like. I really don't know. But I don't think Arsenal getting the credit they deserve. Everybody keeps turning around and saying, "Oh, they haven't played anybody yet. They're no test." And then when we play it, I remember watching Genius on Match of the Day, the fantastic goal from Martinelli, the header against Nottingham Forest. Fantastic header.
Genius is the worst pundit alive, honestly.
Yeah, he actually
bad.
So bad.
He's biased towards Tottenham. Is
yeah, well, of course he is. And
never seen anything like it.
Yeah, and he was talking about how bad the defending was. The defending was not about how good the goal was. So straight away they're looking at the faults of other teams. And then when we played Chelsea last week, it was all about how poor Chelsea were. And so we just have to accept that. That's something we're just going to have to get used to. But I don't care what Sky have got to say. I don't really care what Match of the Day I've got to say, really. I know what I'm seeing at the moment, and what I'm watching is I'm loving watching Arsenal Football Club at this moment. The players, look at the energy that they show. Saka probably wasn't at his best yesterday, but still looked dangerous. Martinelli probably wasn't at his best yesterday, but look at the work rate of them, Dave. It was incredible. And when it matters in those really defining moments, they get something done. If it wasn't Jesus, it wasn't. I look at Jesus now. And it's always can they name because he's not goal scoring. They're not. No one's going on about it and putting that in a different side and saying, well, look, hold on a minute, look what he's doing without scoring. Look how good Arsenal are without him scoring. What is actually going to happen when he scores? When he scores goals And I think that I have to say, I thought he was outstanding again yesterday. Didn't really get that many chances. The chances that he did have were offside, but he took one of them well, and the other one he hit the bar with. So I think that we just got to keep winding everybody up, keep going. 5 points clear, Dave. I'm going to say that now. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 5. 5 points clear of a team that's bought a goal machine, scoring left, right, and centre, spending £500,000 a week. Apparently, he's on, and at the end of the day, they're 5 points behind us. I watched them against Brentford yesterday. Desperation of diving about, trying to get penalties and everything like that, trying to cheat their way to games to get points.
I remember Pep's Barcelona side used to do that as well. On occasions, if they didn't get their way, if they didn't get
their way, they start doing all this cheating stuff and everything like that. Now, listen, when De Bruyne does it, who, by the way, if I'm not stand correctly, he's not English, he's Belgium. That's all right. It's De Bruyne. It was clever. When Saka's doing the same sort of things, or not even worse than that, and he is getting fouled. He's diving.
They're lambasted, in the media.
Yeah, can't wait to bring him down there, So, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if Saka and Jesus are the two most fouled players in the league. And I'm just not saying it's the English media, because I think that Grealish got a little bit of a raw deal with this last season because he kept getting fouled. So maybe it's just an English thing, not an Arsenal thing. But De Bruyne yesterday was shameful, and they didn't bring it up. They could, not too sure, not too sure about what. Say it how it is. It's a dive. They can't wait to condemn an Arsenal player. If that was Xhaka, they'd be straight on the back of it. But they're reluctant to do it. And I actually tweeted it out yesterday. Say it, you know what I mean? He dives yesterday. Why didn't they say
Kevin
it?
the Diver, that's a good one. I like
Yeah,
that.
Kevin the Diver. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
The GOAT. I like that. But listen, every Arsenal fan at this moment in time must be buzzing about everything at the moment, because I thought there was a little bit of pressure on us yesterday, Dave. A bit of expectation, because I think like Man City had lost, so there was a chance to go 5 points in front. Tottenham had won. Newcastle had won. So the teams behind us, have got points. So if we would have slipped up yesterday, it wouldn't have been a good thing. But we depressed. Like you can imagine it, like those teams, Spurs and Newcastle, got their results. Right, come on, Wolves. Let's see if you can get the result. And Arsenal went bang, bang. See you later. No problems.
I think
we'll move on now till Christmas. Fantastic.
I think one of the points I wanted to raise is in that first half, Arsenal looked. They couldn't break. For me, it was a shocking performance in the first half. It was very slow, very laboured, no much intensity at all. And looking at it, I think a target man would have done you good, like a big, strong centre forward would have done you good in those moments. And I think obviously that's going to be addressed, if it is going to be addressed in January. And a person that obviously Ivan Toney against Manchester City was outstanding, outstanding. So that kind of big presence, I think, will suit Arsenal. What do you think of that? Like, not it's to be per se Ivan Toney, but someone of that stature to come into Arsenal and fit into the mold.
I'm totally with you on this. I do think that we need somebody just to change it up a little bit. I think that yesterday, if you look at the team yesterday, I'm with you on that. I didn't think it was a very, very good first half performance. I thought we was a little bit flat. Every stray passes, there was some passes from midfield that were simple. Gabriel, I thought Gabriel played really well yesterday, by the way, defensively, but on a couple of occasions, sloppy balls into midfield. There was Odegaard doing that. Saka made a couple of poor ones. I think even Ben White, who's been outstanding, it wasn't quite right. It was a little bit sloppy. We had to be patient, Dave. It wasn't great to watch. But ultimately, the biggest compliment I can say, and I know you're trying to get a reaction from me here, like, you know what I mean? But the one thing that I will say about this is that we're the homes. We're not the home side. We're the away side. You know what I mean? And we was actually the team that has to break them down. So this is a good thing now, Dave. Teams are not thinking, right, Arsenal were there for the taking. Let's defend against them and see what happens. But so, I think just someone said, Terry said in the chat, like, it has been revealed by Mikel as well that half the players or a few of them were ill for some unknown reason, like something that they'd eaten or something. Obviously, like I agree with what you're saying there, but also, like, after 5-6 minutes, when you lose one of your main players, it is going to unbalance the team a little bit and the rhythm and everything there. And I felt that it took Vieira more than 40 minutes to get into that game, like, and then he got involved and got into the game. When he got into the game, I felt that he done well. But I think second half, Arteta got into him a little bit. I really do think that, Dave, and they went up a level. But I'm with you on this. I think that I don't think it's a priority. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't think it's a priority where I think there's other areas that we need to strengthen first. But
if it's a snatch and grab game, Lee,
if
it's like right at the end and you need someone. I'm not talking about, like, because Giroud still missed chances, but he was kind of.
I know what you mean, like a plan B striker. I get what you're saying.
Plan B, yeah. Plan B.
I'm with you on that.
It's not always going to go your way.
No,
I mean, Arsenal play great football, and they're probably playing the best football of any team in the league at the moment, including Manchester City. fall into that bracket. But
Yeah.
if there's a plan B and you need someone, like for example, it's 0-0 against, let's say, Newcastle at St James's Park. You have a tall, powering striker up front. It's a last-minute set piece. You're expecting a guy like that to get on the ball, get his head on it, and score a goal, or hold off a couple of players, thread someone else through. There's going to have to be someone like that in Arsenal. Whether it's not this January transfer window, whether it's in the summer, but it's going to have to be something like that.
Yeah, I
You know what
think
mean?
at some stage they will address that. Like, as I think that maybe I wouldn't say it's a priority at the moment, but I prefer to see a
What is a
midfield.
priority then? What is a priority
Well,
for
for
you?
me, it's a midfield. I think a midfield player, Tillemans or somebody else like that. I think, like as you see yesterday against Wolves, who are bottom of the league at this moment in time, Vieira come on for Shaka. I thought Odegaard more like dropped into that role, and they sort of swapped it around a little bit. But I feel that we got away with it because it was against one of the lesser teams. But I think that if we're gonna, if you have a real class player like Tillemans coming on there, doing something like that, or someone of that ilk, I think we'd be all right. So for me, a midfield player. I think a wide player as well, someone like that can play both 2 or 3 positions. The ideal player for me is Zaha. I think that
I was about to say Zaha as well.
he's Premiership proven. I think that
Someone who can run on the
just
wide
do things.
area.
He's played up Palace, played up top for Palace on a few occasions. I remember him doing it against Liverpool and scoring and looking really, really good. Just gives us something different. That would be good. I think that a couple of that. I think that there's a lot of talk about Mudryk
Danilo.
there and Danilo. I think that they would be good signings to come in, but they're future sign. They're for here as well, but they're also for a couple of years to replace the likes of Thomas Partey because I think, but not at this moment in time. So they would be coming in as backups. But I think a Tillemans, excuse me, or a Zaha would be
Trossard will be all right.
instant sort of players. Yeah. Yeah, I know what's happening there. Yeah, that would be my ideal couple of signings, if I'll be honest.
Yeah, true. Obviously, moving on, past the World Cup, it's gonna be a hectic schedule. Everybody knows that the World Cup has thrown a spanner in the works. It's tough to readjust, and I think a lot of the clubs have arranged friendlies before they come back to the Premier League action, just to get their feet sorted again, get the team morale going. I think that maybe it could be a big factor for Arsenal is how they readjust back after the World Cup, because it's also depending on how quickly a lot of the teams exit. And will Arsenal fans be more inclined to not hoping the team, like for example, England exits quickly, so Saka's heavily rested before he gets back into the action, you see? I don't think anybody wants that. Everybody wants England to go far in the World Cup. But I don't think people will be too bothered if, for example, England exit quickly and then Saka gets rested, or, for example, you've got, for example, Brazil exits quickly. Well, Brazil exits quickly. I don't think they will. I think they will go really far. But Jesus gets rested. But Jesus, I don't think will feature too much anyway for Brazil. I don't think he'll be part of the first team lineup. So I think Arsenal are in good stead. But what are you thinking past the World Cup, Lee?
Yeah,
how Arsenal are going to readjust?
It's a great point you make. Look, and how I look at it is like when Thomas Partey was playing for Ghana in the African Nations.
Cup of Nations, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cook was desperate for him to come out. Nothing against him. I wanted him to get knocked out, so he comes. So when they got knocked out, delighted. I'm like that. Going to be like that with all the teams. This is what's spoiling it. Going to spoil this World Cup for me. My main priority, and it always has been, even in the summer, has been Arsenal. So I'm pleased that the players are there, but I want Sweden to get out as quickly as possible. I want like of all the other teams, I can't France.
Saliba probably will be definitely a star. Yeah, definitely a starter.
The Brazilian guys, as you say, I don't mind them being there so much if they're not playing. I think with England, I'm going to be really honest. I'm not too bothered about England whether they go in or not.
I think Ramsdale will be first choice keeper.
I think I said Sweden instead of Switzerland. I do apologise.
Yeah, Switzerland.
With England, I'm looking at him thinking that maybe Saka's going to play a lot. Ben White and Ramsdale, I don't think
Ben White,
will.
yeah, I think Ben White
The
as well.
other, the other way, I look at it, someone like Harry Kane will be playing every game and every minute and running himself on fumes, and hopefully that will impact him in the latter part of the season when he's with Spurs. That's how I'm looking at that. So yeah, but ultimately you want these teams out, and but in the summer you don't, and this is the thing. For me, it's just an absolute shambles that it is on this
Yeah,
time.
it's
But
a
listen,
huge spanner.
the one thing about it, Dave, I will say the players knew about this, the management, everybody knew that this was coming, and to be fair, us fans knew it was as well. So it's sort of like got to just go with it now, and see what happens.
It's club or country, Lee. It's club or country. So I think personally, Saka
Listen, I prefer
would love to
Arsenal.
lift the World Cup. You know what I mean? It will be. Do you know what? If they go far into the tournament, let's say for example Brazil win the World Cup, Jesus is going to get a huge morale boost. You're going to see him firing in all cylinders. If Brazil win, because that's what they want.
Yeah,
They've wanted that for
there's that to
years
it.
since
There is that
2002.
to it.
You know what I mean? And it's a morale booster as well. Look what happened to Saka after he missed the penalty.
Yeah, but he
The
come back and he struggled for a
demotivation.
few weeks, Dave.
Yeah,
He struggled
exactly,
for a few weeks.
exactly. He demotivated completely because of what the media done to
Yeah,
him and all the fans basically did to him as well, which is
yeah,
shocking. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Especially in that
So
time.
anything can happen. So that's the things in the World Cup that for me, club or country, I'm going to say now, I'd rather Arsenal win the League Cup than England win the World Cup. I don't. It's more about I'm very patriotic when it comes to like cricket today. Fantastic, England have won against Pakistan in the cricket, buzzing for it. The rugby, love it, all that. Yeah. But when it comes to football, I'm very, very much Arsenal all the time, so it's definitely club for me over country. And that's how I am. And
Yeah,
this World Cup, really, I've got no real importance for it because it's ruining my winter of Arsenal. You know what I mean, for all my life, I've grown up going into October and November and December watching Arsenal, not England. You know what I mean? Like over these last few years, I don't know how people in the chat feel. It's been a pain when international breaks come in. I can't stand them. Like
yeah.
you know what I mean during the season. When it's the World Cup in the summer and the Euros in the summers, I enjoy it. But now I'm
I can't imagine going having a pint watching England in a freezing cold in my jacket and
cold.
stuff. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
got to put me out on. I can normally go in my shorts and flip flops. An absolute joke, you know what I mean? So yeah, put me out and coat on and my scarf.
That's
No,
it.
thank you. So there you go. But listen, it's here. It is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. But from an Arsenal point of view, and how I see it from an Arsenal point of view, is that we've got ourselves into a fantastic position, better than expected. I don't think anybody would have thought that we would be with as many points that we've had. I think we was all hoping we'd be in the top four, but to be on the points total that we are, and Dave, let's be honest, playing the best football, we are the best team in the country at this moment in
It
time.
is probably one of the best in Europe. Actually, playing the
Yeah,
style of play, probably one of the
you
best in
have to
Europe I
say
can
that.
see.
And I think Arsenal fans are a little bit reluctant to say that, a little bit cautious to say that. I get that.
I know why, and that's kind of leading me into my next point. I fear that Arsenal fans, they have a slight something in them that's saying, okay, Arsenal are going to bottle it towards the end of the season. That's what I think a lot of Arsenal fans, people may hate me in the chat, but I think because it's been such a long time since you were in the same position. I'm not talking about Leicester season. Leicester season was a bye. I'm talking about actually physically going for the title. I think Arsenal haven't been in the position for so long that, and I think there was a super chat earlier. Let me just bring it up actually because it makes a good point. That it was from Jack Harmon, and he said, "Evening lads, I couldn't believe that Jamie Redknapp comparing Arsenal seasons to Leicester's." Because obviously, I don't think you can class Arsenal in the same ilk as Leicester, because Arsenal are one of the biggest clubs in England. But for me, it doesn't look like that, but there's some similarities where a team out of the blue has come and it's starting performing well. Really taking points off so many teams. Obviously, Man United was a shock to the system, but could have won that game. You could have beaten Southampton, and who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? But do you think there's something part of Arsenal fans that think, I think Arsenal are going to bottle it again towards the end of the season?
Well, listen, there is obviously that, like, but I would say that if Manchester City come back and win the league, I wouldn't think it would be bottling, because that's what's expected to happen with the squad that they've got and all that. The great thing that England, what Arsenal have done this time, is instead of giving Manchester City 5, 6, 7, 8 points at the beginning of the season because we've not been prepared, we've actually got 4 or 5 points on them this season because we are prepared. We were prepared in pre-season.
You have to play them twice still as well, which is
we've still got to play them twice. And at this moment in time, I don't think you know, if you was a betting man,
if that match went ahead, sorry to cut you, Lee. If that match went ahead, obviously the Queen's funeral and the Queen's passing affected the whole Premier League season, and that was the fixture. It was the Man City fixture that got affected and had to be moved, and then PSV was played instead of the whole different mix up. Do you think you would have beaten Man City in that fixture if it was played out?
Yeah, we're at home. I don't think we would have. If we was away, no. But I do think that we're at home. We're a different animal at this moment. So I was disappointed we didn't play them.
Because this is the beginning of the season, and Arsenal are playing really well. So.
Yeah, we was playing really, really well. So the powers of being, whatever, has meant that we've not been able to do. And we also missed Everton's game as well.
Yeah, Everton, during the Queen's Week.
You know, like, so we could have been on another 3 points.
I think it was 2 games.
Games. We missed the Everton game because of the Queen's thing, but because of that, the PSV game had to be called off, and that's why the Man City game.
Exactly.
So it affected us for 2 games. Now, in those 2 games, you know, Everton at home, the way they're playing at the moment, you would say that would have been a shoe-in for 3 points. So we could actually be on another 3 points more than what we had. And Manchester City, I think, Dave, it was a 50-50 game. I don't think you would class them as big, massive favourites for that, nor us. So, but listen, when have we ever said that? It's a 50-50 game against Man City over the last couple of seasons. That's how well we've done. The Leicester thing and everything like that, I see what they're saying about comparing it with, because, you know, there weren't a lot of expectations for Leicester to win the league that year, and they kept it and surprised everybody. Listen, Arsenal were 5th last season. I don't know how many points behind Liverpool and Manchester City. So no one really ever believed that Arsenal could get themselves in with a chance. Now, you know, everybody at this moment in time is saying that Arsenal could still bottle 5th and 4th and whatever.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well. Yeah,
not hearing it from the media about Newcastle. Not you know, because, you know, no disrespect to Newcastle, they're not as a bigger talking point as Arsenal. So this is what we're going to have to face. And what I'm seeing with this Arsenal team at this moment in time is something different. You know, it's gone to Chelsea, played them off the park, didn't concede a goal. Went to Wolves yesterday, didn't play as well. How many times have you seen that, Dave, when Arsenal have played well and still lost, and every time they play not at their best, they don't win? We're doing different things.
A couple of games this season, I would have said in previous seasons you would have lost the game.
Exactly that. You know, I think we would have probably lost to Leeds and Southampton.
Yeah, true.
Those 2 games, because they were putting it on us, but we was winning our headers, you know, bombarding us with corners. Leeds were and Southampton, and we was dealing with, you know, and in the past we've buckled and everything like that. So there's there is a little bit of a difference in there. And this thing about I keep hearing also, we're 1 injury away from this. If Jesus gets injured or playing,
one injury away.
Haaland and De Bruyne get injured.
If Haaland goes, then it's done. Man City are finished.
Exactly. So, you know, it's And the drop off between so and so and so. Well, there's a massive drop off between Haaland and the fella Alves who they've got.
Yeah, Alvarez. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the same things. They're quite quick to bash on the old Arsenal door, but it's the same for every team. If Harry Kane gets injured at Spurs, the drop off is incredible. If Haaland gets
Son's
injured,
out, isn't it?
Son's out, like, you know. But don't forget, we've had one of our players, you know, Gareth Southgate said it would probably gone to the World Cup if it had been fit and firing, and unfortunately hasn't been firing and fit over the last year. It's been Smith Rowe, but
Yeah.
he's got to come back. Hopefully, the injury, the operation has cured that, and we're going to have him back playing really, really well. So, you know, like, there's plenty of twists and turns and everything like that, like, you know. But for me, if Manchester City go and win the league, I'm not going to sit around and say Arsenal have bottled it. Does everybody say that Liverpool bottled it after last season, after getting 90 points? No, they give it a bloody good go. And at the moment, if it wasn't for Arsenal, Manchester City would walk away with this league at this moment in time. So that's how I see it, like, you know.
Yeah, I think people have addressed your comment about Haaland, the drop off towards Alvarez, but yeah, Jesus compared to Eddie Nketiah is a bit different.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is there's a drop off. Is there not a drop off between Haaland and? Don't forget about how good Alvarez is or whatever. Is there a drop off between Haaland and him? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Is there a drop off between Jesus and Eddie? Yes. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. No, bringing
every main striker.
Players are. Yeah. Don't matter how better he is. Alvarez is better than Eddie. At the end of the day, I'll tell you what. Now, before we go on to that, I'll have a bet with you that Eddie scored more goals, more Premier League goals than him. You know, of course, there's a drop off. We're not saying there isn't. Like, I'm not interested in that. Is there a difference between Haaland and their next player? Yes. Is there a difference between Harry Kane and their player? Yes. Is there a difference between Jesus and Eddie? Yes. You know what I mean? Is there a difference? Is there a drop off, you know, from De Bruyne to whoever they bring in? Yes. Good. You know what I mean? Like, is there a drop off between Partey and El Neni? Yes, of course there is. We know there is. But hopefully you don't get those players injured, like, you know. Listen, also with Van Dijk, when he got injured, look how poor Liverpool were when he got injured.
Yeah.
Look how poor they were.
And to be honest, example.
Really honest, since he's come back from that injury, he's never been quite the same, has he, Dave?
His turn of pace is shocking now.
He's
laboured, very laboured.
Yeah. Now. Anybody that's had a knee operation out there, like, and I have, and it's not as serious as a cruise ship, let me tell you. It ain't easy to come back from straight away, like, and hit the ground running with it. It takes you a while. And so injuries are there, like, you know. So
but injuries can affect any squad, yeah. But I think what people are alluding to is that because Arsenal's squad is a little bit thin when you look at
it is thin. Yeah, we know it's thin. We know
your best 11 is the best 11. And I think Man City don't suffer too much in the midfield. Yes, De Bruyne, but I mean, if you look at Gundogan, if you look at like Foden can play an attacking mid role. You look at Bernardo Silva, like they have so much quality in that area, and they have an abundance of people on the bench that could come in and fill in any role. Maybe bar Haaland, but apart from that. Man City pretty much won the league last year without a recognised striker. You know what I mean? So maybe Arteta's seeing that and he's saying, well, maybe we don't need a recognised striker. Maybe we don't need one.
I don't know. When you're scoring all round from at the moment and winning games in your top of the league, it doesn't matter where the goals.
Beautiful pass by Jesus, by the way.
Yeah,
really
of course
nice
it was.
pass.
It's fantastic. But when you're winning games in your top of the league, of course you don't. You don't look at that, but there's going to be a stage when we're going to be struggling. We need someone to come up and score goals for us and get you out of trouble, like Manchester City have had in a couple of games when they've been struggling a little bit. They've had, if it hadn't been for the referee, or they've had their striker to get them out of it. Sometimes that happens, so you've got to do that. Listen, we know that we're very fortunate at this moment in time that what we're into now is what date is it? The 13th of November. And probably playing our 14th team at this moment in time. on more than one occasion, Dave. You know what I mean? Like it's like so we've been fortunate on that front, really. We've had a few injuries. Yes, we've had El Neni out. We've had like Smith Rowe, and we've had like Shinchenko out, and we've had Partey out at times. But ultimately, we've been okay on the injury front. But if we are serious to be going to go all the way, not just in the to challenge Manchester City in the Premier League, but the Europa League as well, we need to strengthen in January. It's as simple as that. We're not going to get through this season with that squad, an 11. It's not going to happen. We know that. And if Arsenal don't bring in the players that they should have, I still think that
Reinforcements,
they were
shall we
short.
say?
Yeah, if they don't reinforce in January, because they should have done it in the summer. I don't want to hear the excuses. Oh, it's harder in January. It's easier in the summer. Well, you should have got them done in the summer. The squad needs strengthening. If it's strengthened, then I really do think that we've got a fantastic chance of pushing Man City all
Man
the way.
City
But
all the way.
let's be
Yeah.
honest about it, Dave. You know what I mean? Liverpool in the last 3 seasons got 90 points plus and have won the title once. That's what you're up against. That's the animal you're up against.
Man City could
Not easy.
go. Man City have a knack of like winning like 13 games straight, and just like,
Yes.
what's going on? It's tough to compete with. And looking at obviously Pep, and he obviously has been through it all. He knows what he needs to do to actually get the title done. But I think if you look at the outcome of everything, I think Man City's priority is Champions League this year. I think the Premier League is also I think the Champions League is something they need to cement,
Great point.
to start a legacy.
So they might. What you're saying? They might take their eye off of it.
Listen, yeah, exactly. Especially if they come up against a big team. If they come up against a big team,
exactly. If they do, we've got to be there to pounce on that, Dave.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're playing the likes of Real Madrid, PSG, Bayern Munich, and all these different teams in the Champions League, that's a difficult task in itself to also go for the Premier League. And those games in the knockout stages can be really physical. Haaland could maybe receive a little knock that could affect a weekend's performance. Anything could happen. But I think Arsenal, because they're in the Europa League, which is also relatively tough because all the good Champions League teams have pretty much dropped down. So the Europa League this season is looking like the best Europa League for a very long time, if you look at it in its entirety. So with Arsenal, I think they should focus on the Premier League and leave the Europa League as a byproduct of that. And then I think Man City will be focusing on Champions League, and I think both teams will be going for different objectives this season. But is Arsenal's objective just to finish in top 4? I think Arteta looking at it now, Edu looking at it now, I think they're like, we have to go for this after the World Cup. We have to go for it. That's what their mentality should be, not finishing in the top 4.
No, look, listen, we've had a run of 14 games so far, winning 12, drawing 1 and losing 1 at this stage of the season. You've got to look at it and go, right, if you're prepared to invest in the summer, why not do it in January? Now there was talk last January, if you remember rightly. We couldn't get the players we want, but we'll go for them in the summer and get them in the summer, and then that's what they've done. They're going to have to bring their plans forward. If whoever it is they're going to get, maybe just for instance, it is they've looked at it and thought, well, we get Tillemans on a free transfer, or we get so and so for. Let's get them in now. That may cost us a bit of money to do so. We've got a chance to win trophies, Dave. Yeah, we've got a chance to win trophies, not just any trophies, big trophies. We've got a good chance of winning the Europa League because we're one of the best teams in it. And at this moment in time, after 14 games, we're 5 points clear in the title. Now, there are times when we've been 10 points at this stage, 10, 12, maybe even 15 points away from the title at this stage. It's gone. It's there. It's not. I'm not saying we're going to win it, but there's an opportunity at this moment in time. Now, what happens if you don't buy anybody and you end up not winning the league by 6 points, 5, 6 points? you'd be kicking yourselves if you imagine if you if we're signed so and done that, like, you know. Give yourselves the best opportunity you can of winning trophies. And to do that, we need to strengthen the squad. Simple as that.
Mm. Yeah, I think so. And obviously, a lot of people we talked about it earlier. Like, I honestly think, personally, look at the squad. I think Ivan Tony would be an absolute, like, if a team went in for him, let's say 60, 70 million, Brentford have no choice but to release him. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Ivan Tony is a class act. He's a great player, very physical, gives no shit. So he's a shit house on on every single match he plays for Brentford.
Listen, I think Manchester United might go for him.
I think Man United will go for him.
Yeah,
that's what
I think Man United are desperate for that sort of player, if I'll be honest. So I think Man United would be one of the teams to look to for.
He wouldn't need to move far, though, isn't it? If he went to Arsenal, for
yeah,
example.
no, but at the end of the day, you know, he's going to want guarantees or some sort of guarantees. He's going to be playing regular. It means then that we'd have to change our style a little bit. I'm not too sure that would suit us. Do you remember, like, a few years ago, Newcastle were running away with the league, and they went and bought a Asprilla, and it just changed the dynamic. We've got to be careful of that. We've got to be very, very careful of. We've got to get the right
change the dynamic of the team.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got to be very, very careful. It's not just about getting this player and this player. They've all got to come in with a purpose and what they've got to know what they're doing, and it doesn't affect the way we're playing at this moment in time. They've got to come in, and which is not easy. But listen, I'm pretty sure we've got 6 weeks now where we haven't got a game. These discussions have been made, and I'm pretty sure they will be. You know, and plans can be made. So let's see what happens. But it's exciting times, Dave. I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to Christmas, but I'm looking forward to Boxing Day even more because the Arsenal will be back. I'm really looking forward to it. Just want this World Cup over and done with. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't care who wins it, as long as my players don't get injured. And then by Boxing Day, we're all ready to rock and roll again. Like that's how
I wanted to touch on it because it seems like, you know what, and we alluded it to earlier. The World Cup being in winter feels strange. It doesn't feel right somehow. Obviously, because it shows in the World Qatar, we couldn't play in the summer because it'd be like 45, 40, 50 degree heat, and everybody be melting on the pitch. That's simple how it is. But
let's just ask in the chat how many people are looking forward to the World Cup.
Yeah, actually, guys, put it down in the chat. Who's actually looking forward to the World Cup?
Let us know. Genuinely looking forward to the World Cup, can't wait for it to start, or is it a pain in the arse, like I feel it is? Like
I'm a huge supporter of England and Spain, in the World Cup and the Euros, or more so the World Cup because the World Cup comes every 4 years, same as the Euros. But the World Cup is. 2010. You never seen a celebration like it when Spain won it. Honestly, it was crazy. I went absolutely ballistic.
Yeah. Listen, and rightly so. And Dave, when it's in the summer, I really look forward to it. Like, I mean, I can say like one, it gives you saying it breaks up the season. Then you got the World Cup and football every day. And there's something special. There's something wonderful about the FA Cup. There's something wonderful about the World Cup when you have games like. I know it's not like this now, but that you have them like at 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Now they're having them. I think is it 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 7 o'clock. 4 games a day and things like that for a couple of weeks. Yeah. It's a football feast. You know what I mean? For a couple of weeks, so I really enjoy all that. Like coming home from. You remember rushing home from work to watch a game, and then but I haven't got that. Enthusiasm for it, I have to say,
Yeah, we put a poll in the chat, guys, so everybody can answer in the poll. Are you looking forward to the World Cup? We had a poll earlier, and the whole title of this show is "Can Arsenal taste the title?" That's why everybody was saying, "Oh, it's tasty" at the beginning, and 76% of the guys in the chat say yes.
Yeah,
and 23% of people say no.
Playing, Dave. The way we're playing, I really do think that. The way we're playing at the moment, I can see why people are excited about Arsenal. I was excited about Arsenal. Do you remember I come back from Orlando? I said, I was excited for Arsenal. I was excited about watching it. I was excited about the players that we signed, and now I'm excited about what's going to happen. Like, I can't wait. Actually watching the game yesterday, and we were sitting there and thinking, oh, we ain't got a game now till Boxing Day.
Yeah,
No one was going, oh yes, we got the World Cup for 5-6 weeks. Well, no, everybody was saying, oh,
while you were in the box, Lee.
When I was in the box,
Lee Hospitality Judges.
That was fantastic. We had a fantastic day. Like,
Was it you, Rob, Cecil, and Julian, right?
Julian, like, yeah. It was invited into a box, and it was like fantastic. And big up to the guys that done that for us. It was an experience, because Watford's not the greatest away, as I said earlier on, for atmosphere and all that, like, so it was a very, very good day, and a few beers, and that was a very, very good day. Do you know when you're getting and I don't know how people do this at times, they're, get drunk, you got that 3-hour journey back, or 2.5 hour, I I don't want to be like sick in the car or anything like that, so I thought I better steady on now, like, you know what I mean, better steady on.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fantastic experience, and a great day. And talking about hospitality, because we've got to go in a sec.
Wednesday.
In fact, we are off on Wednesday. To Manchester.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a vlog, guys. Yeah, we're going to be doing a vlog. We're going to do a vlog for the Football Content Awards. As you know, we're up for Best New Content Creator, which is very exciting. It's our first year, and we're already up for an award. We didn't even think we were going to be nominated.
No.
But people voted for us. Thank you, everybody, for voting for us in the chat. Much appreciated. If you voted for us, amazing. And if you voted for us to actually win the award, obviously, we're going up there to Manchester, and we're going to be part of a selection of different, nominees. Obviously, X is going to be up there. He's going to be voted for Best Video Content Creator under the influencer model. And then we up for Best New Content Creator. AFTV's up for Best Media Company. Same as AFTV and Don Robbie and DR Sports competing against each other.
Yeah, they're up against each
category,
other,
which is crazy. So. I've never seen anything like that. And it's going to be amazing. Like, everybody's going to be there. We're going to actually do it, and we're going to do a vlog all the way from London on the train. Me, Lee, and Sam, our social media guy, is coming up with us. And we're going to do a vlog, and it's going to be very interesting. We're going to be Lee. If we win it, we're going out.
We're going out. We're going out. I don't think we will. Like, we're just, look, from our point of view, and we're very humble, and we're very, very proud.
I'm sure there's second places and third places still for that.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah, like last year there was. So. But we was very, very proud. We're just very, very proud to be nominated, in our first year. And of course, unfortunately, Dan can't come because of work commitments. So he can't get up there. But us three are going, and we're really looking forward to it. And just to be nominated and being a part of it is a fantastic thing from our point of view. So we're really looking forward to that. So we're going to do the vlog next week, of course, because we won't be talking Arsenal, will we? Because there'll be no bloody Arsenal game. So
all the teams are off on international duty now. All the teams are now training internationally, I think.
It's a good question. Who's Dave going out with? Lee or Expressions? Yeah, he does love a bit of Expressions, does Dave. You know what I mean? If I'll be honest, guys, he's got a little soft spot for that horrible Tottenham fan. You know what I mean? So
I put a post up on my Instagram saying there was a post of a Tottenham. A girl in a Tottenham outfit, and she hid behind, I think, her mother, and pointed to the Arsenal fan. And she tried to hide behind her mother so she couldn't be in sight of the Arsenal fan. Just pointed to her, and I put in my thing. It's hard being the only person in the world where I'm stuck right in the middle between Arsenal and Tottenham.
Well, the good thing is we get on with Expressions. I know he's a Spurs fan, but we do.
I think everybody will be going out together. I think it's going to be
massive. I think we'll do that.
Do a little maybe a bar crawl in Manchester would be good.
Yeah, we're doing something. We don't even know really what time it finishes, do we? So we'll get up there. We'll do a little bit of a vlog. You'll be out watching next week and see where we end up, and see where Dave ends up. what bedroom he ends up in, expressions or the judge. You know what I mean? We'll find out, like, you know what I mean? So.
No, I've already got my own thing booked, guys. I've already got my own thing booked. Yeah,
I've got a room on my own. I've got my room on my own. Like,
yeah,
he's free. Julian going. No, Julian free is not going because he'd had to pay to go up there. So all of a sudden he's busy this week, like, you know. So
yeah, but it seems good. But we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy it, and obviously wish us the best of luck. So Lee, that's pretty much wrapped up. Really great stream, guys. Thank you everyone for joining. It's been amazing. We're going to be actually doing watch-alongs, also doing the World Cup. Obviously, the tasty games we'll be doing.
I'll be involved in them as well. Like, you know, I'm going to be doing some of them. Like, you know, so
all the tasty games we'll do. We'll try and cover. I think you're booked up for England games, isn't it, in DR Sports? So.
Yeah. I mean, talking to another company at the moment about doing some other stuff as well. So
that's good.
But we will be doing some other stuff as well. Like, and I'll be definitely doing some stuff on here as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, and the last super chat, I've not actually heard this player before. I'm not sure. It says Arsenal should sign Marcus Thuram as a partner to HU's watch the. I don't know how to pronounce that. It must be a German team versus Dortmund game.
Yeah,
he was in Spain. Scored 10 league goals so far. I've never heard of it. I haven't been.
What's he plays at Muschen Gladbach, doesn't he? Like, you know, and
Muschen Gladbach. That's it. Yeah.
Marcus Thuram is the son of Lilian Thuram, who used to play for France.
Okay. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, like, you know.
He is, yeah. Lilian Thuram. He is, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to love watching Lilian Thuram.
Brilliant player he was.
Brilliant player. So, brilliant player.
Not as good as Saliba. Not as good as Saliba.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks very much for joining.
We enjoyed that chat.
Like I said, we're going to be doing watch-alongs for the World Cup. Hopefully going to a bit of a pub crawler and maybe a few England games. And if Lee doesn't appear, we'll try and get a few guys onto the channel to do some World Cup watch-alongs because it's going to be a really good thing. I think even if you don't do it, I think I'll
we'll do something
together. Band England to get England. Honestly, I love obviously club. I support Real Madrid like all my life, but the situation is like when England play, there's a certain atmosphere in a pub that everybody, regardless of which club you are supporting, everybody's supporting England at that time. You see, and the atmosphere is electric in every single pub across the country. So come on, England, we're gonna do it. And Lee's gonna say, "Come on, England, bar Kane." That's it.
Yeah, bar Kane. Like, you know, unfortunately, he is playing. It looks like he's going to be playing, but there you go.
Yeah, come on, England, and Viva España. That's what I say. Vamos España. Okay, we're gonna do that, guys. Okay, thanks so much for joining, guys. Much appreciated. And yeah, we will see you next time on Lee Judges TV. End the stream, Dave. We got that again. There we go.